It's a big hello and welcome to the 2019 National Greyhound Draft. Wonderful to have your company. Last year was a game changer in greyhound racing, and we expect today to be very much the same again. Our expert panel is assembled. The boys are back for 2019. George Farrugia, good morning to you. And you're fully aware of just how successful 2018 was.
Feels like yesterday that we were here, George.
I know. You're still looking as sharp, I will say.
Thank you, mate. We've already had 5 greyhounds from last year's draft race for 4 winners. We had the #1 draft pick win on Sunday, on Thursday at Sandown, and the day after, the last greyhound picked from last year's draft won the day after on the Friday at Gawler. So, yeah, it's been fantastic. We've had really good responses from new-time owners, and let's hope we do it again this year.
Jason Adams is with us once again as well. And, Jace, we look down the field that we've got assembled for today and the dogs that are available, and there are some absolute stars in the making here.
You're not wrong, Jack. It's a fantastic lineup, and of course, we talk about last year's success so far, of course, but as we say always, this is a great opportunity for anyone to further their involvement in greyhound racing, especially new people. There's never been an easier way, and a lot of these pups that we do see on offer today, typically not available to the public, so it's a great opportunity for everyone to get involved.
And George, I will say firstly, Jace has got a beautiful haircut for the show today as well. He's really looking finely manicured.
Always, never seen it out of place. Fantastic.
It's funny you say that, Jack. George actually lost a bet last night, which means he has to shave his head.
Yeah. Not good.
I'm here for advice.
That was a bad day, mate.
If you want to learn how to shave your head, I'm the master at it. I've been doing it for years. To matters at hand, first and foremost this morning, on a more serious note, do need to bring you up to date with a story from across the week. And this week, GRV have announced that they've suspended 3 greyhound trainers due to a breach of rules. This is an ongoing investigation, and as such, GRV are unable to supply any further information at this stage. And of course, we and GRV always urge you to report any suspicious activity through the Greyhound Racing Integrity Hotline. The details are on your screen right now, and we urge you that if you're seeing something that you think is suspicious, to go through the appropriate channels as well. To today and the draft, how it will all work. If this is the first time that you're seeing the National Greyhound Draft, and we've spoken about the success of 2018, very much the same rules applying this year. It's just been a phenomenon, and it created this new level of hype, and not only for what happened on the day last year at the draft, but as we've spoken about, following along for the 12 months since. And 8 teams will select 3 dogs each. We've got 24 of Australia's best bred dogs. It is a unique chance, no question about that. And the best part about all of this is that each syndicate share is costing roughly about $1,200.
And they get 3 greyhounds, and I think that's the important thing. We all know, like in all codes, you're not all going to be champions, and you know, to have 3 chances, I think it's fantastic.
It's as easy as that, and it is unique, Jace. That's the other thing about this too, that there are many traditional channels that you can go through to own a greyhound, but this is something slightly different than normal.
And we've all been a part of those conversations, whether it be at a footy club or a pub, of people want to get involved in greyhound racing. Let's buy a greyhound, and often that's been pretty hard to take that first step, but I think with the draft it makes it easy, and especially to get involved with pups who are very well bred, and for a small investment, as you say, Jack, to get involved.
So let's talk about the ownership opportunity. Let's give you a bit of an understanding about how it all works. A 2% share costing $1,200. The individuals can purchase more than one 2% parcel of shares, and you can get up to 15% as well. And we should also mention, of course, that past performance isn't an indication of future performance, and not all greyhounds make the track, and not all greyhounds earn prize money. But I think one thing that does make this opportunity so unique is the people that we've got involved. So we're basically giving the dogs the best chance of succeeding.
Yeah, we are, and we're always upfront with our communication, warts and all. As we said, not all of them can win races, but we've been off to a really good start. Hopefully we can do it again this year.
I think we can. I think we're all very, very confident. And part of the reason that we're so confident is the litters that we've got assembled for 2019 in the draft as well. Some of the best of the best. And talk us through, just look at some of these famous names involved today.
I have to say, it was a lot of fun buying these dogs. I wish I could buy them for myself. It was an expensive exercise, that's for sure. There's some very, very well-bred pups there, and there might be some diamonds in the rough later in the draft, Chase.
There will be, and look, you've done a great job in assembling these pups, George. And as we said earlier on, these pups are very well bred. Most of them are proven performers as well. And again, a lot of these pups wouldn't be open on the public market, so it's a fantastic opportunity.
Yep. George, tell us why some of these pups were chosen, because we've shown you the list, but there'll be some more reasoning as to why you've gone down these paths.
Yeah, tried to get dogs out of females that were really good producers already. So that's an important thing. I think that cuts down the risk.
Yep.
If that wasn't the case, I think we brought out of females that were very good race performance. So, you know, Group 1 winners, Group 2 placings, all these type of things. I think that's really important. I think the females that can run have been proven to go on to be very good producers.
We've got the 2019 draft and round 1 starting very, very shortly. But before we do that, we thought it was a good opportunity to go back to the class of 2018 and highlight some of the big success stories. There have been a couple of amazing careers that are starting to be built, and I guess they don't come any better than Warbanger.
He's been a marvel. To start, he's had 10 starts. He's won 6 of them. He won on Thursday at Sandown. I thought his run was outstanding. We're seeing some vision of him here. He got held up a little bit, Jace, but he went around them, and he's starting to work it all out now, I reckon.
He's really starting to mature, and of course the pressure was on him being draft pick number 1 going to Team Cameron last year, but he's been exceptional ever since he started racing. He's won his maiden very well, and look, as we say, he's just learning. The 10 career starts now for 6 wins. So certainly so far, the highlight from the 2018 draft, and it looks like he's got a pretty promising career ahead of him.
And then we have Rock Solid, who's forging a nice career in its own right.
Yeah, look, he's going to have a nice future. He's got a lot of speed, this Greyhound. He likes to look for the fence. He hasn't drawn too well, you see, with the yellow vest on there. So hopefully we get a couple of reds or box 2s, Jace, but he'll be okay too.
He looks to be, I think, that turn of foot that he's shown his first start. Of course, he went around again at Richmond on Friday, and he's just learning his tricks. So keen to see how his career progresses.
And of course, as we continue to remind you, and we will, that past performance isn't an indication of future performance as well. The teams that we've got assembled for you today, and we've spoken about giving these dogs the best possible opportunity of succeeding. The reason that we can say that with a level of confidence is because of the teams that we have got assembled for you today.
Yeah, look, we've got the who's who of Greyhound racing for sure. We've got a couple of really big owners, including Team Border, who puts a lot of money into the sport. Ray's a fantastic guy. He's got some very good trainers under him as well. And we've got some big names there. Team Britain, of course, Team Cameron, Team Terry, and we've got a couple of radio stations as well.
We do, and have a look at the grins on them. Gareth Hall up there from Team RSN, and of course Nick Quinn from Team Tab. And look, Team Terry there, and of course Team SEN, which is certainly close to your heart, Jack.
Yeah. I'm barracking. I'm not even going to pretend this year. Last year I tried to be a little bit biased. I'm barracking for Team SEN this year.
Get you a share.
I want to share.
Absolutely.
I've got to check whether I'm allowed to, but I'm interested in the share. So out of all of this, of course, now that we've got our teams established, we have our dogs established, what we needed to establish after that was an order for the 2019 National Greyhound Draft, because the picks are so important. We know the value of pick number 1, and that's coming up very shortly, and we know the value of all of the first round picks. And boys, you were both here this morning, and this is how it all played out.
Yeah, look, the first couple of picks, or the high picks, went really late, didn't they, Jace? So they didn't pick right the early ones.
It was suspense late, and I think the last 2 were 1 and 2. So certainly the best work was done late, and that's where you want to be, because I know a lot of them had the same sort of priority in terms of who they would pick first.
A slight change in fortune for Team Cameron this year as well.
Yeah, went from first to last this time around, but yeah, I'm sure he's done his homework, and you could just see Ash's face thinking about who she's going to pick with pick 1.
Before we get stuck into the draft, which, as I say, is just moments away, we want to talk to you and show you a story this morning about one of the people involved, and Anthony Azzopardi, his contribution to the sport, and just a little teaser of what's to come today.
Yeah, first got in greyhounds through my father. We had trotters and that, and we went one day with the horses to just give them a bit of a training at Penrith. There was greyhounds trialling, and I just fell in love with them then, and I asked my father, can I get a couple dogs? And he bought me a couple of dogs, and the way I went. I was only 8 when I first got my first greyhound. I'll never forget the first race we won. There's a dog called Vacant Lot my father bought for me for $500. Oh, biggest thrill. I think my old man started, that's it, the horses are over, now we're in the dogs. So yeah, it was pretty exciting, that's for sure, I'll never forget it. My father, he was heavily involved with the greyhounds. He passed away 2001. Me and him worked very close together, and it was such a great time, I'll never forget it, you know, and when he died, it was a direction I probably didn't know to keep going with greyhounds or not, but the love of the animal just kept me going, and yeah, I'll say he'd be looking up there, he'd be pretty proud. My daughter, she's 13. She's very heavily involved with the greyhounds with us. When I see Kayla with the dogs, it's a great thrill because she respects the animal and she loves the breed, and she reminds me of me a lot because I love the dogs as well. And her to to do dogs as well, it's personally myself, it's very special to see her do the dogs, you know, because the passion she's got, she can go a long way if she wants to take that path as a trainer, you know, and yeah, if she does, I'll be proud of her. If she doesn't, well, I'll respect it too, you know, but I think she'll have a dog on the lead in the near future, that's for sure. The National Greyhound Draft, it's pretty exciting to be involved. I'm really honoured. It's a great way for new owners to come in the sport, to buy some of the best stock available. We're on Team Border. He's a terrific bloke. He's a personal friend of mine. He's known as being a real good breeder, and he's bred a Melbourne Cup winner, so he knows what he's talking about, and I'm pretty proud to be on his team. I get pretty excited when I win a race. I love winning races. It's just because of all the hard work you put in your animal and how they respond to you. They've got to be happy. You've got to have a real good bond together. I'm a true believer in that. You've got to spend a lot of time with the animal, and the animal's got to trust you, you know, and I think that's the key. I get very attached to them. Yeah, they're like part of my family. Like, it's see them being born and you raise them and they go to race and it's a big thrill, and yeah, we get very attached to them. I just love the animal. They're great to work with. They show you a lot of respect. They're just an absolutely wonderful animal, you know, and I'm just lucky enough to do something I love to do, and yeah, greyhounds are the best.
What a fantastic story of Anthony as a party, a family story as well. His daughter involved, and that's part of what we love about the sport, is that there are so many families involved.
Yeah, look, it's one of the great things about the sport. When you win a race, everyone wants to talk about it. It's a big thrill, and I think Team Border will be certainly one that's really popular among the new owners.
No question about that, especially with Anthony involved. So we have got the #1 pick coming up just after this. Ash Terry was the last name to draw alphabetically. Luckily for Ash, it probably worked out okay because she has got the #1 pick, and that is coming up on the other side of this. Of course, you can head to the website to get involved and get your place in the 2019 National Draft. Pick #1 and all of the first round after the break. Welcome back to the 2019 National Greyhound Draft. Pick number 1 is just moments away. The excitement and the anticipation has been building. But if you've seen something this morning that has really caught your interest and you'd like to get involved and buy into a team now, 2019draft.com.au. Don't waste any time. Jump online now and get yourself involved in a team for 2019. And it might just be the team of pick number 1 that you want to buy into. And pick number 1 goes to you, Ash Terry.
Yeah, RO001.
No surprises, Jace here. Barcia Bale, Ronda Rocks. Of course, we're seeing some vision of Seneke here break the track record and win the Brisbane Cup. Not just Seneke in this litter, though, Jace. The litter have won over $600,000. Gwydion, Red Rock. It's a fantastic litter.
It's widespread, and we speak about Ronda Rocks, and of course she was a sister to Angie Rocks, who was a powerful sprinter herself, and you mentioned the form that Ronda Rocks has already got put on the board. Seneke's a superstar, and of course Gwydion, it's a widespread litter. It's not just, I guess, a selected couple that are pretty handy.
Yeah, and of course Ash has had a lot of success with Barcia Bale, so she's got her favourite sire and a terrific dam.
She's had some absolute speed machines, Ash. She's a very good operator, and I'm sure she's happy with pick number 1.
I don't think she could have got it out of her mouth quick enough to get pick number 1. No question about that. So pick number 2, and it is Team Tab. We have Nick Quinn and Jason Sharp. Good morning, boys.
How you going?
Morning all.
What have you got for us?
SS001.
SS001, which is Shimmer Shine, of course, the boy, and or the Shimmer Shong pup, I should say. And here we see Shimmer Shine on screen breaking the Ballarat track record. And Georgie, this is already proven to be a pretty good leader. Shimmer Shine looks to be one of the freak sprinters going around Australia at the moment, and to see this boy get picked up, pick number 2, is certainly no surprise.
Yeah, we've seen some vision of him. He's a beautiful pup. We went out to see him, Jace, and Shimmer Song was a terrific chaser herself, but she's probably even a better producer after Shimmer Shine, who's one of the leading fancies for the Melbourne Cup.
Absolutely, and Shimmer Shine, of course, she raced over 600 metres, won a group race over the distance, so she was so strong and now proving herself in the breeding scene.
Yep. Team number 3 is Team 927, Gareth Hall and Angela Langton.
Hello guys, we pick SS002.
So another Shimmer Song, go back to back. This is the first female picked in the draft. We're having looking at some vision here. A real playful type, lovely greyhound. Out of a first season sire, Mapunga Blazer, who you'd know well, Jace, running 29.23 on debut at Sandown.
He was a star, and speaking to his trainer, Jeff Britton, on multiple occasions, this greyhound was seriously fast. Of course, he went up to Brisbane, did some good things. And look, that girl, we see her on screen there, and vision of her running around the farm. She was mad. She was cutting loose, and
yeah.
Although she's very young, she looked to have a bit of speed and certainly a lot of attitude.
Pick number 4 and the first pick in the draft for Team Lagogiani. Peter Lagogiani.
Morning guys, FR002.
Yeah, Fernando Bale, Flash Riot here. Of course, she's already a Group 1 producer, Flash Riot. She's thrown a greyhound called Starter Riot. She only had 4 pups in her first litter. They were all winners, and now she goes to the Hall of Fame, Fernando Bale.
And of course, her mum, being Ray Wright, produced Raccoon, who we know is a Group 1 Hume Cup winner. He had a massive motor, so it's a proven line, that's for sure.
Pick number 5 goes to the mighty Team SEN 11-16, Troy Little and Brooke Ennis.
How are you guys? Pick BS001.
Well, Bella Shimmer pup. And look, Bella Shimmer, she was huge. We see her winning here at heats of the McKenna Memorial, George. And look, she had genuine strength, and even over this distance, she was still running home in good time.
Yeah, and her brother Shimmer Bale was a Group 1 winner. Of course, Brooke and Jamie trained Bella Shimmer too, so no surprise they went to pick that greyhound. He's a beautiful, big, brindle dog, and I expected him to go high up, and that's no surprise.
Pick number 6 is next. We're flying through the first round. Ray Border is here for Team Border.
MF001.
Aston DB, of course, Ray had a lot of success with Aston DB. We're watching him here win the Melbourne Cup. He was a terrific greyhound, first season sire. We haven't seen his pups on the ground yet, but all reports are he's going to be a fantastic sire. And she's a Group 1 place getter as well, Mapunga fame.
She was a Sapphire Crown finalist, and look, she just had explosive early speed, and she was a very reliable beginner. And of course, you mentioned Aston DB, a Melbourne Cup winner and a genuine superstar of his time.
2 picks remaining in the first round of the National Greyhound Draft. Pick number 7 is for Team Britain and Rob Britton.
Hi guys, I've gone for ES001.
Of course, a pup out of Esparza by Fernando Bale. And look, Esparza, George, we see, of course, a daughter of hers here on screen In our Blazing Cartier, it's got a massive motor. She's already proven over a long distance, and Esparza herself, she was one who did her best work over the staying ranks.
Probably an obvious pick for Robbie. He trains Blazing Cartier, of course, and this greyhound's by Fernando Bale, who Robbie's had so much success with Tornado Tears.
And the last pick of the first round is for Team Cameron and for Peter Cameron.
Hi guys, ES002.
So the other Fernando Bale, Esparza, gets picked up back-to-back here. Of course, she was a Group 1 place getter, Esparza, and Fernando Bale's just proven to be throwing dogs over 5, 6 and 700 metres.
He's got the complete package, and we speak about Tornado Tears, and of course he is the sire of him and also Dinah Paddy, who of course a multiple Group 1 winner.
Yep.
Pete's just going to go away and get himself sorted. He's got the first pick in the second round. Now that we've flown through the first round, any major surprises?
No. Last year I think there was a little bit, but this year I think they all sort of went in the order. They were chatting backstage, and I think a lot of them had the same ideas going forward.
They did. I think a lot of people came into today looking for that Rod Rocks pup. We expect him to go pretty much number 1, and as well as the Shimmer Shine boy. Look, no surprises, I don't think, so far, Jack.
I guess from here, the intrigue as we roll through all of the first round selections, as you can see, the intrigue is now from here on in. What does picks from the second and third round look like for all of our teams?
Yeah, look, they're obviously all quality animals, but I think there needs to be a little bit more refiguring for sure. And yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see where a couple of others go. There's a couple of multiple lots here where they go, whether they go late or a little bit earlier.
So the intrigue and all of the tactics starts to really play itself in. We've got the second round coming up very shortly. We've also got a fantastic chat with Hannah Woodward coming up on the other side of this.
And when he pinged the lids and he just won, I cried. I cried so much. My first win of a dog that I chose. The first to come at the front. He tried his best. He got absolutely whacked on the first.
To Wallbanger, clearly getting better and better every time. Racing, Wallbanger came out okay. The first starter showing pace was run by...
I remember his first start at Geelong, and when he pinged the lids and he just won, I cried. I cried so much. My first win of a dog that I chose. The first photo, it was amazing. I can't even describe the feeling of just seeing Harvey giving a pat and cuddle and seeing him grown up, really, because I remember seeing him as a pup So we met some syndicate owners at his maiden final in Geelong, and it was fantastic to meet some new faces and know that they were here supporting Harvey as well. And my family texting me all the time, when's Harvey racing? Like, I've got messages now saying, go Harvey, go, fingers crossed and everything. They always ask me when he's racing next. I'm so nervous. I'm not used to it yet. I'm still get butterflies in my stomach and my heart rate increases, and like talking now, I get so jittery because I get so nervous and excited for him. Like, I just want him to do a good job, try his best, get out there safe.
Away, Mapunga Daniels began only fairly out fast. Peter Longcomb with Mighty Max Don and Fear the lead.
Oh, he tried his best, yeah. Go boy.
Followed by Wallbanger.
Good boy. You have to come at the front. He tried his best. He got absolutely whacked on the first turn, but his run home was good. I was proud of him, and at least he's happy and safe at the end of the race, so it's fantastic. All in all, great.
So the odds have gone in. It's a very good evening to you. The last of them going in. Away and racing, and Sawan began well. Wallbanger was away cleanly, and Swift Current out fast. And the number one draft pick surged to the lead. Wallbanger all too good. Won it by 3 lengths to Bush Blossom. Third Swift Current, 29.73 to Wallbanger. Clearly getting better and better every time.
Welcome back to the 2019 National Greyhound Draft, and what a great story there with Hannah Woodward, and a great example of the thrill of ownership.
How good is that? That was her first Greyhound, and I was on track, and she came down like a contestant from The Price is Right. After it was brilliant. Great to see, and family was there, and awesome.
And that's what exactly what it's all about. You know, you don't really buy in these things to expect a financial return. If you do, it's a bonus, but for the thrill and the enjoyment of seeing your own greyhound race at the track, there's nothing that matches it.
The details are on your screen right now, 2019draft.com.au to buy into a team immediately. And of course, past performance is not an indication of future performance. So round number 1 is done. Let's go into round number 2. And Peter Cameron didn't have to go too far. He had the last pick of the first round, which means that he's got the first pick of the second round.
FR001.
So there were 2 flash rights going in this draft, and Peter's taken the second one here. We're just watching her win a race at Crampton. She come from a very, very good litter, including a greyhound called Fuelish. So, and she's gone on to be a good producer, of course. As we mentioned, she's already thrown a Group 1 winner.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, flash right, you mentioned that Group 1 winner. She has thrown starter right, who claimed that futurity at Wentworth Park earlier in the year. And yeah, you mentioned that throwback to Raccoon, of course. The mum of Flash Right, Raya Wright, produced Raccoon. It was an absolute beast. And Pete, for you, if you hadn't picked number 1 last year, of course, with Harvey being Wallbanger, are you as confident leading into this draft?
I'm really happy with what I've ended up with first couple of picks, actually. I had them ranked much higher than I managed to pick them, so that's good. Both the mums are proven, so we'll cross the fingers and hopefully get another Wallbanger.
Pete, thank you. You've got one more pick to come in the draft, and we'll cross back to you very, very shortly as well. The next pick that we have for you is pick number 10. If you're just following along, of course, the first round is flipped on its head, and then we start with the second round, which means that pick number 10 belongs to Rob Britton.
I've gone for RR002.
So another Fernando Bale here for Rob, out of a greyhound called Rip and Rose, who was a Group 1 finalist. She comes from a family responsible for the likes of No Donuts as well, Jace, who you would have seen go very, very fast at Sandown.
Absolutely. He won a Group 1 Sale Cup, of course. I think he might have started favourite in the Sandown Cup too. So he did a lot of good work over all 3 metropolitan distances, did No Donuts. So it's a line where there has been success in the past.
Thank you, Rob. We'll get your next pick coming up in just a matter of moments. Ray Border is back. He's got pick number 11 for Team Border.
MF002.
Aston DB Mapunga fame.
Well, surprise, surprise. The 2 that Ray's picked up first off being the Aston DB pups. And again, George, of course, he was a Melbourne Cup winner, Aston DB, into Mapunga fame, was a greyhound who had experience at group level. Of course, showed a bit of pace as well.
Yeah, absolutely. He was a terrific greyhound. He won that Melbourne Cup famously. It was a great field. Ray, tell us a little bit about his pups. They haven't hit the track yet, but what's their temperament like?
Well, they're very, very forward. They're not shy. They're type of dog you need in a field that will push their way through, just like he was. So the attitude's there. It's just a matter of whether the pace is going to be there, and all indications now are they are. Thus, I've picked 2 of them.
No real surprises there as well. Thank you, Ray. You've got one more pick to come, and we'll get that one from the third round very, very shortly. We move to pick number 12, which belongs to Team SEN 11-16. Troy Little and Brooke Ennis are back.
Hey guys, RR001.
Of course, George, this is the second pup out of Rip and Rose, and again we spoke about no donuts related there, and look, Fernando Bale so far has been so prominent in the prospects that have been picked so far, because as we mentioned before, he's been proven as a sire. I think it was a bit of unknown leading into his stud career, but he's come to fruition.
Yeah, absolutely. Brooke, have you had much experience with the Fernandos? You've had some very good greyhounds, of course, one out of Barcia Bale in particular more recently, but have you had a lot of Fernandos come through the kennel?
No, not recently. I think we might have had some early doors that obviously haven't stayed in the kennel, but actually got a few little guys out of Esparza at home at the moment, and they're nice pups. So look, something different. As I said, we haven't had many Fernandos, so yeah, we're really looking forward to it.
Good luck. You've got a couple of good dogs in the draft so far. Pick number 13 as we continue with the second round of the 2019 National Greyhound Draft. And pick number 13 belongs to Team Lagogiani, and Peter's back again.
Yeah, guys, SU001.
Fernando Bale suffragette. I mean, it's hard enough to win a group race. She won one by 10 lengths, taking out the launching pad. Of course, Pete won a launching pad himself with Beast Unleashed, and look, she was a terrific chaser from a good litter.
She was, and she had that explosive speed. You mentioned that launching pad series she just go through, George, and on that replay we just saw, she went 29.35, so she had express speed. She was able to perform in group races, so she was full of class. And for you, Pete, what have you looked for in terms of picking this pup?
Well, suffragette, absolute jet. Look, she's won a launching pad. As you know, we've also won one, so we're heading straight there, straight to stand in the next couple of years to win another one with this little pup.
Good luck. Well done to you. Pick number 14 in the second round of the 2019 National Greyhound Draft. Team 927 are back again, which means that Gareth Hall and Angela Langton are here once more.
PF001.
My Redeemer, Pepper Fire. Gareth, you would have seen a little bit of Pepper Fire in your time in WA. She was a terrific chaser.
Yeah, she was quick out of the boxes, and Linda, Britt and Chris Hulse did a wonderful job with her, and so I love Pepper Fire, so great to have her on the RSN team.
And of course, she's by My Redeemer, and this is one of the first ones we've seen by My Redeemer, of course, the Melbourne Cup winner of last year. And look, we've got Angela Langton, of course, here representing Team RSN. And Ange, we've seen a little bit on Warbanger so far on the show, but for you being the trainer of him, you must be so impressed about the way he's gone about his business so far.
Yeah, definitely, Jason. Look, he's been a great pickup for the draft for last year, and only going to see bigger and better things, I think, out of him. And hopefully there's a few Warbangers in this next slot today as well.
Well, I hope so. Nick Quinn has got a big challenge on his hands next, because he's back with pick number 15 in the second round for Team Tab. Their first selection was a good one, Jason Sharp, and Nick Quinn are back. Quinny, the pressure's on here.
Well, I don't think it is, because I think Gareth Hall has just had his Terry Wallace moment in basically passing up on Buddy Franklin.
How did Plough get a whack here?
He's gone with Tamblin, and I think Gareth's done something similar. So we are delighted to announce that we are taking MPF001, a runner that we honestly did not think would still be available at this time.
Fantastic. Barcia Bale, Mapunga focus, of course, from the famous Mapunga line, Jace. Barry Smith, one of the all-time great breeders. We're watching her win. She was a terrific stayer too. She won over quick time over the 700 at the Meadows.
Yeah, spot on. We just saw that run there, and you mentioned that line from Barry Smith, of course. Mapunga Focus was produced out of Mapunga Nikki. What she's done is certainly been well profiled. She was an exceptional producer.
Yeah, she was a Group 1 winner, yep.
Nothing like confidence from Team Tab as well, is there?
No.
Quinny's the spokesperson. You're unbelievable. You really are.
Up and about after that, guys.
I like to see that as well. Quinny, thank you. And Chase, thank you as well. We'll get your third round pick, which I'm sure will bring the same level of confidence as well. This takes us to the final pick of the second round. We started with Ash Terry with pick number 1. And Ash, what have you got for us for pick number 16?
BS002.
So this is the seconds of the Bellashima ones that have been drafted here. And look, George, we see it here on screen, and look, we speak about Bellashima and the strength she had, and look, similar striking markings. I know Bellashima was brindle, and this one as well.
Yeah, lovely girl. It's a famous dam line at the moment because of Shimmer Shine and Shimmer Song, and I think Ash would be really happy to get her so low in the draft.
I think she's going to be very happy. So here are the second round selections from top to bottom. We started with Team Cameron, and Fernando Bale, no real surprise to still see that, that this dog featuring heavily with some of the selections.
A Hall of Famer, he's thrown champions already, and he's highly prominent in this draft, that's for sure.
I think from what we've seen in the second round, a more highlight would have to be the Fernando Bell Suffragette. I think Suffragette, she just screams to be a pretty good producer. There's no guarantees, of course, but from what she did on the racetrack, there's certainly a fair bit to be excited about.
Absolutely. Her sister, Ebby Ripper, was a star too, and we've also got a first-season sire, as you mentioned, in My Redeemer, who took out that famous Melbourne Cup last year.
And he was good over 600 metres as well, so pretty versatile. And yeah, if there's a sire who needs a pretty good resume, it's one like My Redeemers.
2019draft.com.au to buy into your team and get involved immediately. There are still spots available. We've got the third round coming up and a special chat in Molly's Lounge not too far away as well. Great to have your company in the 2019 National Greyhound Draft. And if you just look over my shoulder here, you might think you might have morphed back into the thrill of the chase. You haven't? Well, you kind of have. We've got the third round of the 2019 draft coming up very, very shortly. But a regular feature of the thrill of the chase is Molly's Lounge. And we're pleased to tell you that Molly's Lounge is here for another edition today. Molly, good morning to you.
Good morning. I couldn't resist the opportunity to come back and have a guest. And I actually think we're going to have the best behaved guest in studio so far. Peter and Blue, welcome to Molly's Lounge.
How are you, Molly?
Good. Now, Peter, tell me a little bit about Blue, when you got her and I suppose why.
Well, ironically, she was with Angela Langton, who is in the draft today, and she didn't race, so she went straight into the GAP program when she was 2. And she's now just over 12, so I've had her quite a long time, and she's just gorgeous. I love her.
That she is, and she's very well behaved, laying down straight away. Now, Peter, as the chair of Greyhound Racing Victoria, how important do you see the draft and syndication for the future of our sport?
I just think today is so fantastic. I mean, I'd rather look at this draft than the AFL draft, to be honest, because it's really exciting. You know, people are obviously buying shares in a syndicate, waiting to see which team's picking which dogs, and all of that drama's happening today. And syndication's a really great way to get involved in the sport for a small entry, like just $1,200 straight up, and that's all you pay. And then you've got this great thing to bring all of your friends together, go to the track, watch your dog race. I mean, it's just fantastic.
That it is. Now, you talk about heading to the track. We've obviously got the Melbourne Cup coming up. You must be so excited about this.
Oh, I love the Melbourne Cup. It's the best Melbourne Cup going around. The thoroughbreds will kill me for that. But anyway, no, the Melbourne Cup, I think every trainer in Australia really wants to win that because it's very prestigious. You've got your $1 million chase, and that's fantastic. But the Melbourne Cup is the prestigious one and the real jewel in the crown. So I can't wait. It's only a couple of weeks away, and we'll be doing a lot of promotion around that. But yeah, it's a great night, so everyone should come down and have a look.
Absolutely. Now, tell me a little bit about how you got involved in the sport of greyhound racing.
Oh, that's a good one, Molly. So my grandfather was a professional punter, and so when I was 8 years old, I used to go to Olympic Park on a Monday night. That's what you did, the dogs. And then we'd go to, obviously, the Flemington and other tracks as well. So that's where I got my love of greyhounds. And then from there, I went on to the board of the Meadows, which is one of our fantastic metropolitan clubs here in Victoria, and loved it. I just loved being out there with Eddie and Marg Long when she was the CEO. And then from there, I went on to the board of GRV, and obviously now I've been appointed the chair.
Yeah, now I'm going to ask you a curly question here. Do you have a favourite greyhound that's been racing, one that you just cannot live without watching?
I think we all know the answer to that. If anyone knows me, it's got to be Tornado Tears, the old Batman. So yeah, I don't know. There's dogs that come along through the journey, and he's just one that I've got this unhealthy obsession with. And Robert Britton's here today, and he's like, oh, the stalker's back. And yeah, so Tornado Tears, Batman. I think he's also been a great dog to bring a lot of people to the track. You know, we had Fanta Bale, Miata, those sorts of dogs as well. But Tornado Tears, you know, Batman, and everyone's screaming for him on Top Gun night. So he's just one of those iconic dogs. And obviously now we've got Feral Frankie, you know, the people's dog, they're calling it. So that's what this industry is about, having those star dogs, and they are fantastic athletes, and then watching them race, and then when they're finished, obviously straight into the adoption program, or if they're breeding, but eventually they're on someone's couch, which is just fantastic.
Now, talking about on someone's couch, tell me a little bit about how you adopted Blue and how she's, I suppose, kind of weaseled your way into your lifestyle.
Well, I needed a cat friendly, so she's cat friendly. She's actually terrified of cats. So I had to wait quite a while, but eventually the Greyhound Adoption Program called me, and this was before I was involved at all, like at the Meadows or anywhere else, and said, we've actually got a dog that we think would suit you, and they matched us perfectly. So I was so thrilled, and I remember after I took her home, you used to get a little pack, and I think we still do that, and I rang Angela Langton and said, I've got your dog, and she was, oh, I remember her, she's beautiful, and I said, oh, thank you, yes, she is. So, yeah, that's how the journey began, and I've had her ever since. I wouldn't live without her, she's gorgeous.
Peter, thank you for being here today, and I think we can say with certainty, Molly, after a couple of editions of Molly's Lounge now, that Blue wins the award for the best behaved dog by a mile.
Look, I think so. I mean, Wallbanger, he was a star, and Poke the Bear, he was a superstar. But look, I think Blue definitely is coming cool, calm and collected. That's right.
Just like the owner.
Exactly right. Might have to wake him up and just remind him that we've got a show that we need to keep rolling on with, which we do have the third round of the National Greyhound Draft coming up very shortly. Peter Duncan, the chair of Greyhound Racing Victoria, joining us in Molly's Lounge. Third round coming up after this. Great to have your company in the 2019 National Greyhound Draft. Third round is getting underway in just a matter of moments. Last pick for every team. Be interesting to see where they land. And if you like what you're seeing this morning and you'd like to get involved, you can do it right now. The details are on your screen, 2019draft.com.au, to buy into a team now. And the good news is that there are still spots available. Let's see how it all lands. After the end of the third round, Team Terry is back for their last selection. Ash, what have you got for us?
BT001.
So the Black Magic Opal belts up Tubbsy, the first of these, Jason. We're watching Black Magic Opal here win the Melbourne Cup. He was one of the fastest greyhounds we've seen in this country, and belt up Tubbsy. Ollie was lightly raced. She had 7 starts. She was placed in 6 of them, though.
And she's already produced the likes of Durant and belts up. Ronnie is a type who's got a lot of strength, and you mentioned Black Magic Opal. His acceleration off the mat was just off the charts. And Ash, for you, I know you've taken your picks now. You've got your 3. Has it all gone according to plan as to what you preferred at the start of the day?
Yeah, well, the 3 that I've got were all in my top 8 that I listed, so I was very happy that they were still available, and yeah, so very happy.
You've done nicely. Well done to you, and good luck for what's to come over the next 12 months and, of course, the future as well. Pick number 18 belongs to Team Tab, and boy, was there some controversy after their second round pick. Nick Quinn has just completely blown the AFL world apart. Quinny, maybe just a little more circumspect this time around, please.
Look, I'll try and hide my enthusiasm, but I think it's hard because we got all the runners we were not only hoping to get, but dreaming of getting, and that's worked out better than potentially if we had numbers 1, 2 and 3. So we are up and about at RSN. Well, unfortunately, I think their benefit has been our reward.
Incredible. What have you got for us in that case?
We've got VA001.
Of course, this is Van Anpup, George, who, look, she was extremely versatile. We see her here winning at the Meadows, and look, raced over 600 metres. She made 2 Sale Cup finalists, and look, goes to Fabregas as a side too, who's proven it himself.
Yeah, it's hard enough to make one group final. She made back-to-back Sale Cup finals, which is outstanding. Jason, did you go for her because of her versatility and her strength? Obviously, winning city races is the way to go.
Yeah, and the Fabregas, because we've had a bit of success with Fabregas. So
yeah. Healesville Cup winner, of course, Kuta Mayhem.
Of course, yeah.
Good luck. You've got 3 very, very good dogs. So there goes Jason Sharp and Don King. I mean, Nick Quinn, who's been the hype man for Team Tap. Just extraordinary the amount of confidence that he's brought to it. I reckon we're going to get something similar with our next pick. It is pick number 19 and the final pick for Team 927, Angela Langton and Gareth Hall.
We're with SY001.
So Barcia Bale's Super Yessie here, Jason. A little bit of an international flavour here. We're watching Barcia Bale win a maturity here. This greyhound purchased from the US of A. She won 21 races, 7 of them at Southland, which is the premier track in the United States.
And it's been a popular way from, a dam's point of view to go down an American path. Of course, you see me, Typhoon was brought over and ended up producing Fanta Bales. So the form's on the boards there, and Super Yessie is the next one to come over and do that. Now, I want to ask you a question, Gareth Hall.
Yes.
You've been the #1 advocate for Team RSN this week. What do you think you can provide to the owners who get involved in the team?
The best parties. We've also got Ian Garland, who's one of our trainers, and he's got a hair salon in Bendigo, so you get a free haircut if you join our team. And we also give you the best tips. We've got a tip for you today at Sandown, race 2, number 8. They told me out the back, just get on.
Wow, there we go.
I don't think I can jump from Team SEN to Team 927, but I'm half a chance if they've got the best possible parties. Thank you very much to both of you.
And the best trainers.
And, of course, the best trainers. Angela's an absolute star. We're going to keep things moving to pick number 20 in the 2019 National Greyhound Draft. It is the final pick for Team Lagogiani and Peter Lagogiani.
Well, guys, I can't provide you with a party, but a nice pup, SY002.
No surprise here again for Barcia Bale Super Yessie. Pete's had a lot of success with Barcia Bale. We're seeing her on screen here. We went out to take some photos of her, Jace. She was a lovely pup, and yeah, look, Barcia Bale with the international flavours certainly worked. As you mentioned, not just with Fanta Bale, she's by David Bale, of course, but Barcia Bale's gone really well with some of the international blood. And just on Super Yessie, I know you've had a little bit to do with her in terms of, people picking out female greyhounds to breed with. What's her temperament like? Is she sort of a bit calm and relaxed sort of type? Yeah, really happy-go-lucky, and what I liked about it is her versatility, winning over 5, 6 and 700 metres.
It is the last pick, which is pick number 21 for Team 1116 SEN, Troy and Brooke.
Hey guys, BT002.
a Black Magic Opal Belt Up Tubbsy. Of course, Brooke and Jamie trained Belt Up Tubbsy. She came from a good litter. Her brother, Cactus Jack, made 2 group finals. He won over 100,000 in prize money. And as we mentioned, Black Magic Opal taking all before him. He's the sire of Warbanger.
I was just about to mention sire of Warbanger. So in terms of the draft and success in the draft, it's certainly relatable there.
Pick number 22 and the final pick for Team Border. Ray?
BT003.
Well, Ray's gone for something different. There's no Aston DBs left, but Ray's also had success with Black Magic Opal. This is the last of the Belt Up Tubbsy, and as we're seeing on screen, they're all really well looked after. They're all happy and healthy, and yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Belt Up Tubbsy becomes a good producer.
Absolutely, and beautiful temperaments, and look, they're just all full of personality, which is always a great thing in a pup.
We've got 2 picks left. We're back to Team Britain with pick 23.
I'll go for TNM001.
Of course, this is a Time No Money pup, George. Of course, produced by Fernando Bale yet again. And here on screen, we see Tiempo De Niro absolutely running a market shepherd. And of course, he is produced by Time No Money. And look, he was a type who, especially over that 450 metre distance range, was just a machine.
He was a sizzling greyhound, wasn't he? Really a lot of speed. This dam line goes back to what we now know as the zipping dogs, run by Camo and Marty Hallinan up in Orange. So it's a terrific dam line, and no surprises there. Robbie again going with the Fernando Bale flavour.
We have our final pick in the draft. It is pick number 24, and it belongs to Team Cameron.
PF002.
Yeah, the last to get picked, my redeemer out of Pepper Fire. Pepper Fire, a little bit of a WA connection here for Pete. Pepper Fire was a terrific greyhound. She made a number of group finals, come down to Victoria and did very, very well. And as we said, the first season sire, my redeemer.
She did. There's a strong WA interest here as well. Of course, Pete's from Western Australia, and 2 Western Australian trainers in his team, in Shane Williams and Chris Hulse, who are 2 of the most prominent trainers in Western Australia. So Pepper Fire, that pup there, will go over there, and there's some locally bred bonuses as well, which certainly come in handy.
Yeah. All of our picks are in. Great news. We're going to make sense of it all. We'll come back and we'll give you a full rundown of who selected who and what it all looks like for the remainder of the draft. 2019draft.com.au for more information and to buy into your team now. This is the 2019 National Greyhound Draft, 2019draft.com.au. If you've seen all of the picks land and there's a particular team that you would like to buy into, that's the website that you need to head to and you can book yourself a spot. It's all done and dusted. What have we made of it, gentlemen?
It was interesting to hear Ash Terry's comments that her top three were in her top eight. So, yeah, look, we're going through them now. Obviously, she got the widely lauded pup by Barcia Bale out of Ronda Rock, so I think she'd be wrapped with her team.
I think no team's done badly. I think that's for sure with the quality of pups that we do have on offer today. But look, with Team Terry, of course, there was pre-sales during the week, and of course, there's a bit of interest there. But I think after today, with pick number one, I think a lot of people have been waiting to see where that Ronda Rocks pup goes. And now the Team Terry, you'd expect a lot of people are going to be interested there.
And I guess the thing, and as you say, Jason, you rightly pointed out, it was probably every team was going to be loaded with stars just because of the dogs that we had assembled in this year's draft.
Yeah, absolutely. And as we see with other drafts in football, number one doesn't always mean the number one player. So, yeah, look, I'm sure they'll be wrapped to all the 8 teams, that's for sure.
Absolutely. And remember, a lot of these pups as well, through their education, they're going to some of the best of the best. The Hallinans, who are some of the most respected breeders in Australia. And, of course, Peter Gavin, who does some sensational work breaking in dogs. Thanks for being with us this morning. Our experts have been absolutely superb as always. So, George and Jace, thank you very much. 2019draft.com.au to buy in. Good luck to all of the teams. Thrill of the chase. Back next week.